TK Little opened his doors in downtown Corinth nearly 80 years ago, his plan was simple: deliver excellent service and exceed expectations. That's why we say a little gift goes a long way.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Welcome in here to the Room to Room Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Gabe from Mississippi Live Weather at 10, and we have a fun show ahead. Fun because we have playoff action down in Jackson. We have our game of the week coming up, and we have our predictions with our Ethan Foster coming up as well. But we also have weather, and that comes in the form of some limited showers overnight. Already dealing with a few of those storms earlier on this evening. A few not impossible to redevelop, but more rain chances as the week goes on. Strong storms are possible by this weekend, but I almost wanted to add an extension on this to say into next week. And that's where our more likely threat is for severe weather to happen. And that's what we're going to be talking more in detail about here in the Room to Room Weather Center in just a moment. And like I talked about at the top of the show, we have our state playoff highlights, at least what we have so far. And we're looking to air the rest of that moving into our Thursday, just kind of recapping a few of those highlights that we had today. And a lot of good action, but we also have our predictions as state championships start tomorrow. And our Ethan Foster testing that 8-0 and see if he can keep that going through those championships as well. Let's go ahead and get a look outside and at that forecast. And as you can see, the first 12, there's that limited chance moving into those overnight hours, but with all of the moisture in place, whether that's in the form of cloud cover or rainfall, that keeps those mild conditions around once again. We are in this dominant warm sector that has basically been driving our forecast all week long. And that warm sector, emphasis on the warm, because temperatures still warm overnight. It's not even mild anymore. We're entering into that warmer category as we are 62 by 5 a.m., 63 there by 8, and more rain chances building in as we go about our Thursday. Again, very limited, but chances nonetheless. We're 64 degrees in Mabin this evening, still with some of those clouds in the area. And yes, you can see that moisture, dew points in the mid-60s. That's going to allow for some more of those showers and storms to build in by Thursday, as we are still in that kind of unstable environment as we are in that warm sector, like I mentioned. We're 66 in Alcorn County, 59 degrees of those dew points. So not as much of an unstable environment, not as much moisture in the air. And so that's going to, of course, keep things a little bit drier overnight. 70 in Oxford. Folks active along Highway 6 at the intersection of Jackson Avenue, but nonetheless, a great evening to get out and about as those rain showers, at least the bulk of them, have moved off there towards the north and west. We have to swap our radar sites here real quick over to Memphis to get a better visual on some of these showers and as well as a few storms. And as you can see, at least not anymore, here literally 5 minutes ago, I had a shower. And as we've kind of gone through the 945, and yeah, there it was when I was looking at it, and now starting to fizzle on out over there towards Wynne, Arkansas. And that's where the bulk of those showers will remain, especially up there towards northwest Arkansas. Not impossible right there that we do have a shower developing there towards the Benton County area, moving right across Highway 72, close to the Brody community. My word, it's 10 o'clock. And as you can see, moving across the state line as well, so not going to be as much of a factor here in North Mississippi. The driver in all of this is going to be this low pressure center in Missouri with, again, that warm front extending well towards our north. And while we are in that warm front area, that's where we are still getting that warmer air. So again, behind this front, which has been over us all week long, we are getting these southerly winds into the Mississippi area, and that has those milder temperatures, that has those warm afternoon temperatures, but it also has a little bit of that mugginess. And I know it's not pure summer humidity, but it is still a little bit of that moisture in the air that's allowing for some of those showers and storms to develop, hence why we had them this evening. You reach the peak heating of the day, and that's enough of the unstable air to allow some of those showers and rain chances to form. Now, this cold front will remain towards our west, and so will those severe thunderstorm chances as well. What that means for us is we're not tracking strong storms, but it doesn't mean our chances are zero to see some of those showers by the time we reach our Thursday morning. So that's where we keep that rain gear around just in case, but more than likely, we're going to be basically not turning the windshield wipers on rather than turning them on, as we are dealing with that morning commute. Now, by the time we get towards the afternoon, still with that unstable air during those afternoon hours, that's where we will get a few of these showers to develop right over the North Mississippi area, and you're seeing a few of those highlighted across Highway 45. So the next 24 has those rain chances building in by the afternoon, so any Thursday plans you may have may need that rain gear on top of it, and we do have baseball games tomorrow. Yeah, Mississippi State rescheduling to Thursday to accommodate for those rain chances. So if you're heading off there towards Dudy Noble, might be dodging a shower or two along the way, especially if you're going across Highway 45. So, folks, that's one thing you need to know heading into your Thursday. What you also need to know is state playoff action does continue down there in Jackson. If you're heading off for any 5A or 6A action, well, we have the forecast for you along the way, but we also have a look at those highlights, look at those predictions, all of that coming up here on Mississippi Live Weather at 10, live from the Room to Room Weather Center in the next 60 seconds.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
It's Friday night y estamos activos. Head out early. Drinks flowing till 11.
No sé qué pasó. I didn't even drink that much.
Can I ask a few questions?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog, but she's little.
Do you have any unlocked guns around the house?
We do have a gun, but it's stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access. Appreciate you asking.
Yeah, of course.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
It was a beautiful day across the Magnolia State, even over there in Pontotoc, where our weather watcher Diane captured this beautiful shot of the sunset. You can see those oranges on the horizon, and even with some of that cloud cover, we were still able to get somewhat of a visual there in Pontotoc County. So if you were able to get a visual on the sunset, send that over to us at Mississippi Live Weather. We always appreciate a good sunset, and if you did get any of the action with the rainfall, we appreciate some rain gauge reports as well as pictures of some clouds, thunderstorms, whatever you have. We will take it. We love pictures here on Mississippi Live Weather. Clarksdale this evening, 71 degrees, and this is not too far away from that limited shower activity off there in eastern Arkansas, but 71 degrees with dew points in the upper 60s. That shows a little bit of an unstable environment, and if that were to hold heading into our Thursday afternoon, then I do think that we will have a little bit more of that shower activity, but we don't really have a lifting mechanism, so strong storms not exactly on the table. Greenville, 72 degrees, and might I add, a breezy forecast out there in the Delta as well. 16 miles an hour out of the south, and if you're wondering why it feels a little bit more mild and muggy outside, that's exactly why. 70 degrees Saltillo, not exactly an active Highway 45, but I'm sure once my car hits the road, that's where these roadways really start to fill up. So I guess folks wait until I walk out of the studio before they join me on that evening commute. Our Mama Justice Doppler radar staying on the drier side like we showcased a moment ago, but we do have some of that limited activity off there towards Batesville and Panola County, even up around Benton County, right across Highway 72 towards the Brody community, moving into Tennessee, as are the bulk of those rain chances. But for us in North Mississippi, we do expect those chances to taper out overnight and not exactly going to be a rainy evening across the northern half of the state. The past 24 hours, we did have some decent rainfall totals. Looking at that green showing up, whenever we apply that to our legend, we're talking about a half of an inch all the way up to 3/4 of an inch, with some areas even higher than that. That was where we had that thunderstorm activity and decent downpours as well. So that's why those rain totals were able to accumulate to a good bit, despite it still being under severe limits, and of course not exactly a concerning storm, but a thunderstorm nonetheless. As we take a look out west, that's where the severe thunderstorm activity is expected to be, with that severe thunderstorm watch in place through the evening hours. So if you know anyone out there, tell them that they may need to make sure to download the Mississippi Live Weather app to stay safe and add that layer of protection. And I know our folks over there in Arkansas that are part of the National Weather Network are going to be active this evening as well. But here in North Mississippi, active isn't the term that I would use to describe our forecast. We're only 10% coverage there by midnight, with those showers tapering out overnight. So by the time we get into our Thursday morning, we're dry, we're mild, and we're pretty muggy, as well as, of course, those dew points are remaining in the upper 50s and low 60s. The southerly wind just drives our weather pattern, and that carries over into our Thursday morning as well, and even showcasing a few of those limited showers there by 1 and 2 o'clock on your Thursday morning. But once we get more into our Thursday morning commute, and actually the decent morning hours, that's where we will see drier conditions in our area. Low temperatures though, like I mentioned, a mild pattern remains the story with 61 New Albany, Tupelo, 60 towards Columbus, and 60 in Vernon. We are 64 Clarksdale and Tunica, and 65 in South Haven. So not a bad start to the day. Probably could get away with a short sleeve shirt if you wanted to. Even some cold natured folks. I know my wife, very cold natured, but she tells me every morning whether it's a good day for a sweatshirt or a good day for short sleeve. And we did get the report earlier this week, and it's carried over all week long, that short sleeves are passable. So that's going to let me know that we're kind of transitioning into that spring season, whether we like it or not. 62 around drop-off, 74 lunch, 79 towards the final bell. And there's your rain chances moving into the forecast, and not at all impossible to get a rumble of thunder or two. Guys, I promise I can talk. It's just 10 o'clock and it's been a long day, so bear with me, I apologize. As we head into our Thursday time frame, that's where we're going to see those dry conditions to start the day. But watch how this cold front, it's not going to move all the way into North Mississippi, but it gets close enough to get some of that activity towards DeSoto and Tunica County. So not impossible to get some showers, not impossible to hear a rumble of thunder, but overall for the vast majority of North Mississippi staying on the drier side. That carries over into the afternoon hours, but there's that isolated activity once again trying to work its way into the North Mississippi area, building in by the evening hours, and of course that activity up there towards Arkansas a little bit more prevalent, but nonetheless we do still have isolated activity as we go about any of the Thursday afternoon plans. If you're headed down to Jackson for some playoff action, if you're headed down to Dudy Noble for some baseball action, either way, going to be a more mist than hit. I've been saying that a lot this week. Not exactly seeing a ton of showers, but you do still have limited chances during those plants. High temperatures Thursday afternoon getting all the way up to 82 degrees. Houston, Starkville, and Columbus. We're 79 Booneville and Corinth, and then 79 Clarksdale and Tunica as well. Those showers, similar to what they did tonight, taper out overnight as well. So getting into those late night hours Thursday or early hours on our Friday, we're remaining dry, but still partly cloudy, and that'll carry over into our Friday morning commute as well. Wrapping up the week on a high note, wrapping up the Friday morning forecast, you can see that we do have that southerly wind building in, and of course that'll keep the moisture and mugginess around as well. And that's why we are in another mild start for the end of our work week. 6 a.m., pretty much mostly clear conditions. Want to add that in. That's not a bad forecast at all. And low temperatures still at 62 degrees Eupora, Starkville and Houston, 64 Greenwood and Belzona. We're 63 Cleveland and Clarksdale, as well as up there around South Haven. Friday stays dry for the start of the day, but once we get into the afternoon hours, similar to what we were tracking for our Thursday afternoon and similar to what we were tracking for today's afternoon, that's where we'll deal with some isolated showers once again. Those building in by noontime, and still you see how it almost looks like a boundary setting up right there. Southerly winds building back the moisture and instability that'll allow some of these showers to take place. But with the lack of a lifting mechanism, I don't exactly expect strong storms. But look at the thunderstorm activity that's possible along the Alabama state line by 3 p.m. That's where I do expect some showers and storms are possible. And you see Starkville right there, not far away from this nearest shower. So unfortunately, for any of those baseball plans, we might have to dodge a few of these showers and storms as well. Those will continue to cycle into the North Mississippi area by 6 p.m. So folks, grab your rain gear. And you might not have to use it, but you might have to. And that's where we want you to be better safe than sorry in this setup. Our Friday high temperatures, 81 degrees Holly Springs and Oxford, 81 Bruce, Eupora, and 81 mentioned Starkville. Shout them out once again for your Friday afternoon. 84 degrees showing up in Belzona and Greenville. Our record is 85, and we're closer to the record than we are our normal, but not exactly going to be setting a record on Friday. I think that 2022 record will hold. As we take a look at our high school game of the week forecast, not basketball anymore, it is baseball, and that is where we're going to be Friday night in Houston, Mississippi at, I forgot to look at the general time, but 6 to 7 o'clock. That's where we expect it to be, and you do see the rain chances lingering. This will be the case throughout any of those evening hours, so just grab that rain gear just in case. Hopefully we're not dodging those showers all night, and hopefully we do get a little bit of a dry spell to allow those baseball games to take place. 74 degrees first pitch and 71 towards the final out. That's not a bad forecast for one of the early weekends of our baseball season. 7-day forecast stays pretty mild, even with that rainfall moving in. But there's where your storms move in Saturday and Sunday. More scattered in fashion Sunday, more widespread Saturday. That's where Mississippi State has rescheduled those games to accommodate for these rainy conditions on our weekend. But it's not impossible on our weekend that we do get a stronger thunderstorm, but we don't expect necessarily widespread severe weather threats for our Saturday forecast. Getting into midweek next week has better chances of getting some severe weather in there. And that's, of course, what we're monitoring as we get closer. But nonetheless, we have a rainy pattern until then. I mean, I'll take a step off screen and just show you what we have. 20, 70, 40, 30, 30, 50, lots of percentages up there. So make sure to grab that rain gear, because if you dodge it tomorrow, if you dodge it Friday, well, you won't be dodging it for long as more widespread chances do move in. But speaking of sports, I know we talked earlier about our basketball season down in Jackson. That's where our high school game of the week forecast for, I guess that we do still have game of the week for basketball, but that is, of course, covered with our forecast down there in Jackson for playoff action. We have 5A semifinal matchups tomorrow, but 6A state championships happening tomorrow. And that is where our Ethan Foster joins us to tell us who he has coming out on top in that 6A action for both girls and boys. He's 8-0 on the season. Does he stay 10-0? Well, that remains to be seen heading into tomorrow night. Here is a look at his picks.
Mississippi State High School Basketball Championships going on this week. It's taken all season to make it to the big house. And of course, we've got lots of final matchups to look at. So let's go ahead and take a look at 6A for the boys and the girls. Starting out with the boys, of course, we have Terry sitting at 25-8, matching up with Pascagoula sitting at 26-6. A look at Terry. They finished the season second in 6A Region 3. They also have a guy who's shooting over 12.8 points a game. That's Mr. Kimmel Wiggins. And so far in the playoffs, Terry has been averaging about 67 points a game in the playoffs. So high scoring team. But let's take a look at Pascagoula. They finished the season ranked first in Region 3 for 6A. Their leading shooter, William Rogers, shooting 17 points a game, also shooting 75% on the season. That's pretty good. They've also got multiple guys shooting 15 points or more per game. Pretty good when you're trying to win a state title. They also have been averaging 70 points a game in the playoffs. So, big game there. If you ask me, probably going to go with Pascagoula in this game. We'll see if they have what it takes. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the girls matchup. Now, first up, we've got Olive Branch sitting at 22-7, matching up with Neshoba Central at 26-6 on the season. For Olive Branch, they're the first in 6A Region 1. Their last game, they squeaked out a win over West Jones, 41-40. Survive and advance, right? It is March. And, of course, they're scoring 42 points a game in the playoffs. Low-scoring game so far, but as long as you win, that's what matters. And for Neshoba Central, one of the top-ranked teams in the state, actually top 10 in the state at number 7. They finished the regular season second in 6A Region 2. They've been averaging 77 points a game in the playoffs. So, with that being said, this matchup for the girls, I think I'm going to have to go with Neshoba Central to take this one as well. We've got more picks coming the rest of this week, so make sure you stay tuned right here to Mississippi Live Sports. And as always, I'm Ethan Foster. Thanks so much for supporting us. Can't wait to see you again for more soon.
Well, appreciate that, Ethan, and it's going to be a good time. So Pascagoula and Neshoba Central got to show out tomorrow. I know they're not necessarily North Mississippi teams, but nonetheless, we still wanted to get Ethan in on the picks because he is undefeated, and I want to put that to the test as much as possible. So you will see him heading through the rest of this week with more of those matchups happening. I believe it's 1, 4, and 7A on Friday, and then we do have 2, 3, and 5 on Saturday. So it should be a good time. And of course, we do have some of our local teams that did make the state championship, and that is New Site as well as East Union. And here is a look at some of their highlights that we were able to see earlier today in the Jackson area. Time for 2A Girls State Championship action in Jackson. The Heidelberg Lady Oilers are getting ready to face the East Union Lady Urchins. Tip is at 9 a.m. and if folks are ready, let's go ahead and get this one started. Early in the first, Urchins off and running. Caroline Sherwood gives the ball to Marley Clayton, shoots the 3, no good. Sherwood comes up with the offensive rebound and gets the 2 to go. East Union strikes first. Now pay attention to number 1, Caroline Sherwood here. Passes the ball to the wing, goes to the corner. Baseline cut and a perfect feed from 32, Lily Kate Johnson for the no-look reverse lay. The Sherwood show continues, this time coming up with the steal, diving for the ball, and Josie Maybell comes up with it. Misses the layup, and who other than Caroline Sherwood getting the rebound and the bucket. She's everywhere, and she's not done yet. Baseline out of bounds, Sherwood slips inside and gets the 2 to go. What a layup right there. Sherwood scoring 8 of the Urchins' first 10 points. Heidelberg would respond, driving hard with the left, going up with the right. Layup good, and 1. For the Lady Oilers. Score would be 10-9 right there. Later in the second, East Union down 3. Reagan Johnson drives, kicks it out to Addison Russell, shoots the 3, and banks it home. Tie ball game. Lady Urchins down 3 again. Sherwood feeds it inside to Roxy Robertson. She kicks it to Russell and banks another 3 in. Maybe early, but the bank is open down in Jackson. 2A Miss Basketball, Mariah Farrell gets the floater to go to wrap up the first half right here, and the Lady Oilers go up by 4 after the first half, and they are excited, handling the Urchins' momentum 22-18 after 2 quarters. As we keep it going, we are, of course, starting that second half. East Union getting back into it, and Sherwood sinks that deep left wing 3. And remember Addison Russell? Well, Caroline Sherwood does. Kicks it out to her on the right wing, and she makes another long-range bomb for East Union. This time, no bank. East Union now up. I guess it's a 3-point contest down in Jackson as Marley Clayton gets the ball in the corner and sinks another deep one. It's raining. Get your umbrellas down there in the big house. Heidelberg down 1 late in the third. Lap hand on a breakaway and sinks a layup to knot it up at 32 to end the third quarter. Now watch this play right here. Sherwood feeds it to the left wing to Bell. Bell gives it to Clayton in the high post. Backdoor dime to Sherwood, and she hands it off to Johnson, who gets the easy lay. The Lady Oilers would respond by getting the steal and their own easy layup from Bailey Jones, and Heidelberg finds themselves down 2 late in the fourth. Here comes Sherwood and the Lady Urchins on a breakaway. Drives down the middle, gets the tough lay through the contact right here. Heidelberg needing a response, needing a quick bucket, and they turn to Laphand, who does a nifty move on the right post to get the layup to go. 1 minute left in the fourth right here. They give it back to the Lady Oilers. They look up court and actually find the open teammate for the easy layup to tie the ball game with 1 minute left. End of the fourth, Heidelberg has a chance to win it. They dish it to Laphand, who gets stood up by Lily Kate Johnson. Jump ball, and that gives it to the Urchins with 4 seconds left, and they're looking to capitalize. They throw it deep to the left wing right here for Caroline Sherwood, and she comes up short on the game winner, but it had a chance right there. First overtime, remember Addison Russell? Well, she's known for threes, and she sinks another one to take the lead. And if that's not enough for you, how about another? Russell sinking another 3, this time to go up 2. Same spot, same result. Lady Oilers not going away though. Ransom steals the ball and gets the easy fast break layup. Heidelberg would hit some free throws to go up 2 with 10 seconds left though. So East Union needs to respond. Inbounds the ball. They hand it off to Sherwood right here on the right wing. She finds Bell for the layup. No good. Offensive rebound, Roxy Robertson, and she banks it home. We are headed to double overtime, folks. 9 a.m., and the energy is at an all-time high. In double overtime, though, that's where the Urchins are trying to take over. Sherwood comes up with the defensive rebound, swings it up court, and that's where they would come up with the layup. Bell right there, running away from the defense. Later in double overtime, East Union ball, they look deep, but throw it short to the Lady Oilers. They drive, layup, no good. Offensive rebound, that layup, no good. They end up getting a jump ball with just 2 seconds left in double overtime as Lady Oilers are down 2. They kick it to the corner on an inbounds play, and it is stripped by the Lady Urchins, and that's where the Lady Urchins would come out on top in this one, 53 to Heidelberg's 51 to advance to the state title game for 2A girls basketball. 2A girls state semifinal action continues, this time with the Lloyd Star Hornets and the New Site Royals facing each other in the semifinals, looking to play the Lady Urchins in the state championship. Here we go. New Site takes first possession. They feed it inside to Kaylee Knight, who pump fakes, drives left, and gets the easy layup to go. Royals strike first. New Site keeping the momentum. They would swing it to the opposite wing to Bella Green. All net from 3, 5-0 Royals. Hornets needing a score. They'd try to swing it at the top of the key, but it would be intercepted by Bella Green, who gets the breakaway bucket. Royals score the first 7 points of the game. Lloyd Star needs to respond. They kick it to the left wing to Maddie Britt for 3, and she gets it. Hornets on the board. Hornets keep piling it on. They would get the steal on defense. Kamaya Cryer gets the steal and the layup on the other end to cut the lead to 1. Hornets looking for their first lead, miss the midi pull-up. Rebound bounces right to Lloyd Star, and they'd get the lefty lay. 14-13 Hornets. Top of the key for the Royals right here. They'd feed inside, finds a cut on the outside to Johnna-Kate Lindley, who gets the layup. What a smart play by the Royals there. Here, New Side is down 3 in the third quarter. Claudia Ann Brown dribbles right and kicks it to Bella Green. Dials up the 3, and here Green is again. They're doing a little back and forth 2 game right there, and Green decided, I'll pull up, I'll sink another. That's 3, and that's the lead for New Site. Later in the third, New Site's Claudia Ann Brown steals the ball, and she makes it all the way to the bucket around the defense. An easy lefty lay once again. Baseline out of bounds. Royals find Claudia Ann Brown once again, who gets the mid-range jumper to go over the defense. Kind of impressive right there. And, of course, the Royals just pile it on as the game goes on. They get the rebound, advance it up the court, and she finds her teammate right here for the top of the key. That was a mid-range, only 2 points, but it did not matter. And New Site comes away with this one in an easy one for semifinal action, 38-24 over Lloyd Star. They take on the Lady Urchins on Saturday for the 2A title. So what a fun day of basketball, and that was just the morning. We're working on getting the rest of the highlights from your Wednesday, and we will put that out on Facebook later on, either tonight, but more than likely moving into tomorrow morning. But nonetheless, congratulations to East Union. Congratulations to New Site. They're going to be representing the north half of the state in the state championship game, guaranteeing at least one north half champion as we head into the 2A state champions. So excited for that, and excited to show those playoff highlights to you guys. And a big thank you to the NFHS for highlighting a few of those highlights and allowing us to showcase that here on Mississippi Live Weather. And speaking of showcasing on Mississippi Live Weather, check out our meteorologist Maggie McCauley. They're in the morning show. And of course, this is Charlie watching to know what the forecast is like ahead. And if you want to be like Charlie, well, you can, of course, download that Mississippi Live Weather app today and be like Charlie the cat. He is a good boy watching Maggie. And Maggie is live at 6:37 and 7:30. So Charlie woke up early. You can too. Make sure to tune in for the latest on what's happening with those rain chances ahead and the storms this weekend. Speaking of 5, 6, and 10, we also have our broadcast. So make sure to tune in with Chief Meteorologist Matt Laupon and I so we can showcase that a bit more. And Ethan Foster joining us tomorrow and Friday for his picks. Will they come out on top? Well, we shall see. Putting that undefeated record to the test. You can tune in live to see if they do withstand the test coming up later on your Thursday evening. But we'll see you bright and early. Have a wonderful Wednesday night, and we'll see you bright and early with a cup of coffee in hand.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Laupon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Laupon has proven himself trustworthy